You gotta love those pictures. Hi, I'm Allie.
I'm Sasha.
And our claim, we have been friends for over 30 years. And the reason we've been friends for over 30 years, I think we finally figured it out, was we made friends during the Bang mullet stage. And, you know, if you accept someone in that stage, you're good. So I'm gonna start. We often sit and talk, well, I guess we've vlogged about a couple thousands of hours, and we've been through some rough paths in our life, and we've helped each other through them. And it's been wonderful, and it's been really hard. And one thing that we came up with is that we have these alter egos. Mine's the tough girl, and Sasha's is the good girl. So in order to get through life, I thought if I was tough enough, then I could do it. So the things I would do was I played sports. I played with the girls, and when the girls weren't being tough enough, I'd definitely play with the boys. Played tackle football, I'd play baseball. My dream, when the girls were making ballerina statues, I was making Barry Bonds. So, you know, Barry Bonds played for the Pittsburgh Pirates back then. Bobby Bonilla, Andy Van Slyke, yes, Jay Bell was my big crush. But what I got to learn is I carried that through, and A League of Their Own came out on tape. And if anybody knows that, that's when the girls take over the Professional Baseball League. That was my favorite movie. Saw it 3 times in theater. Yes. So I carried that into my adult life. And talk about trying to tough something out. I married, there was addiction in our marriage, and the whole time through, I was like, I can do this. We can get through this. Oh my goodness, no, we can't. Oh my goodness, we can do this. You know, it's a roller coaster, to the point where I was trying to listen to what other people said. This person over here wanted me to do this person over here wanted me to do the complete opposite. And if I didn't, I'd probably lose their relationship. So I learned in those deep, dark moments that the only voice I needed to listen to was the Lord, which I had to learn what that was. Because I listened to the tough girl that said, you're strong enough, you can do anything, you've got this. And I also grew up in that generation of pull yourself up by your bootstraps and keep walking, and it'll all be okay. Okay, that too fell apart. So I had to learn a new way of being. I had to learn to listen to that voice, and I had to stop listening to everybody else. And I had to learn to say, no, this is the way I'm gonna do it, and I am sorry if we're gonna lose our relationship. And I will tell you today that in those moments, I did lose relationships because I pushed people away, they pushed me away. It was a mess. And I got to be able to learn to listen to that voice and be strong in myself. Once I got to do that, all those relationships came back. All of them. I have good relationships today, including an amazing conversation I had with my dad 2 days ago, where I got to share some of the work I've been doing. I started a blog, and I did an interview, and I emailed it to him, and he hadn't opened them yet. And I said, Dad, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm really scared. This is really stupid of me. You know, here I am, toughing it out again, thinking, oh, I can do this, and here I am incredibly vulnerable. And it's gonna be not just to a couple hundred people. And he said, he's like, okay, well, honey, if you came from a place of love, you're okay. And I was like, oh no, this love thing, I don't know. People say some really mean things out there, and I believe it, and there's the head bullies. And he listened to the blog, he read the blog, and he listened to the interview, and we sat there and sobbed on the phone for 20 minutes. I don't think I've ever heard my dad cry. So those are the gifts of listening to yourself, that inner voice, regardless of what's going on outside. It will all work out. It won't probably work out tomorrow or next week, maybe next year, I'm sorry to say, but it is a beautiful ride, and stay with it. Thank you.
Thank you, Elle. how could you not want to be friends with this amazing woman? My goodness. This is such a pleasure to be here. Our kids are in front. It's my son's birthday. Happy birthday, Cade. So he's 10 years old. It's amazing how we mentioned these alter egos, but there's so many similarities as we were talking about, what's lying underneath. A message I heard growing up was, be nice and be good. And I thought if I followed that my life would be, easy and good. And what I interpreted this to mean was, don't ask for too much, don't cause any trouble, and don't make anyone mad. So, one thing that led to was I started suppressing some of the things that I wanted that were natural and good. For example, when we were about this age, I went to Allie's house for dinner, and her mom made this really great meal, and I finished my portion. I wanted more. And her dad said to me, oh, Sash, would you like a second helping? I said, oh, no, I'm fine. And he said, are you sure? And then I thought, oh, I really do want some more, but the head bully was saying, don't cause any trouble, don't ask for too much. So I just said, no, I'm really fine. And I sat there while everybody else enjoyed their meal. And I know, of course, her wonderful dad would have loved to offer me more. Another thing that these head bullies told me was that it wasn't okay to say no if it would make someone else upset. So it made it hard to find my no. An example of that was in high school, I had a friend who was sitting at the lunch table with me, and she was trying to peel her orange. Let me set this down. And she asked me, she was saying, I hate peeling oranges. And I said, I'll peel your orange for you. And she's like, oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. I felt good. I peeled her orange. And then the next day, she said, oh, Sash, can you peel my orange? And I said, okay, sure. And I peeled her orange. And then the third day, she just handed me her orange and went on talking to a friend. And I was sitting there holding her orange thinking, I don't want to peel it. I just don't want to. What do I do? So I peeled it, even though inside I didn't want to. And that was an example of where being good wasn't being good to me. So after that, I started avoiding her in the cafeteria. I tried to sit somewhere else because I hadn't yet learned that it's okay to say, no, I don't want to do that. What I've begun to learn over the course of my years is that being good to others is wonderful. And I'm also someone that's important to be good to. And I need to really listen to that and respect myself in that way. One thing that I started noticing when I paid more attention to myself and what was good for me is I learned in my 30s that I love playing drums, that I love to ride a skateboard. Those are things I did not know before. One thing Allie has been really good at helping me through this is she reminds me to check in with myself. Like, for example, over this weekend, our kids wanted to have a sleepover, and I said, sure, that'd be great, like, you guys can sleep over. And she said, I just want to make sure, does this feel life-giving to you? And she reminds me to check in and say, do I really want to do this? And I can say, yes, I really want to do this. And even if, she was like, but, if I changed my mind, and she was like, you promised you could have the kids, I know that inside I could feel good about it. She would never do that. She would never do that. But I could still feel good about making my choices from integrity. And she, yesterday, she helped me weed around my new house. And she really put her heart into it. And I knew that she was doing it out of desire to help and love because she checks in with herself. She has been teaching me that, and it's been really awesome to learn that and see that. So I came across, I hope I'm not going over my time, but I came across an amazing quote a few months ago that has also really impacted my life, and it directly confronted what my old mantra and head bullies were telling me about, don't ask too much. And the quote was, you get what you have the courage to ask for. And when I read that, I thought, it's good to ask, it's good to ask for things. So I did something I had never done in my life, and I asked for a raise. And guess what happened? I got it. And then, that was so exciting, I thought, I'm going to ask about housing, because I really had this dream about living in a house. And the old head bully was saying, don't bother this person, you've already asked before. I asked again, and a few days later, I got a call, we have a house for you. So for the last 3 weeks, I've now been living in like a house that feels like a dream come true. And now I can host my family. I can host Allie and her kids. They had a sleepover. I can be more of a blessing to others when I've really taken the time to pay attention and be good to myself and listen to what's good for me too. So that is just the main thing I think I've learned over time, is that being a good girl does not just mean being good to others. It also means being good to myself as well, because I'm also a person, and Allie has helped me with this, so thank you for that. And thank you all for listening. This is such a pleasure for us to be able to share with you. And thank you, the kids, too, for being here.
Thank you.